Yes.
Yo,
Yes.
finally.
Finally.
So when I saw that this name was going to be on our
I was
show,
excited.
I was ecstatic.
I mean, ecstatic, excited, out of this world.
And then I heard some of the music, one that just played, Running.
In my mind, I feel like I can sound just like this guy. You don't know?
Ladies and gentlemen.
We have the privilege today to have right here virtually for acoustic energy, my brother Royce. What's going on, boss?
What's up, brothers? I'm doing well. I really appreciate you guys having me on. I never really know how to talk when it's virtual, so let me know if I'm yelling at you.
No,
you're good. You're good.
The good thing is we're yellers too, so we'll yell together. we'll be yelling together. No worries.
Not yelling. I'm so excited that you're on this show.
Yes, definitely.
You are doing your thing musically.
Yes.
And it's such a privilege that you took time out of your definite busy schedule to be on our show. So thank you for being a part, 100%. Man.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thanks for asking. I really do.
So this is the thing, right? So you sing, you rap, you write poetry, you're a public speaker. So clearly you have a way with words. So does your approach to creating change based on the medium? How does that? How does your creative? How does that work when you're going through these different, let's say, genres?
I think that's a really cool question, and I hope my answer is as cool as the question. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it changes. I do know that my delivery caters a bit in the. And just the way things are delivered, like, UPS, USPS, FedEx, we all got this like different way of like delivering the package. And if it's not delivered well, then you don't know it's at your door. You're not excited when you get it. You know what I mean? So I think depending on the stage, possibly my delivery changes, but I think my music is full of the same stuff I yell on a megaphone at a protest, or
I hear you.
The same stuff
sir.
I sing about when I rap, but maybe rapping I get to say more words, and then when I sing, fewer words, so possibly there's more imagery. Maybe I paint a picture of something that you can imagine while you're driving, while I'm singing, and then when I rap, maybe I can just tell you exactly what happened and tell a story. So possibly there's a method to the madness, but I don't know.
Well, you said something which kind of stuck with me. You said, you did say you don't know, and it kind of leans to where I'm going next, which is there's an authenticity that comes from what you do, which is just genuine. You are just being you, right? And we respect that about your artistry and about you as a musician, as a poet, and so forth. But tell me a little bit about the song Running. That song sticks here
so
in my
catchy.
mind. Tell me a little bit about that song. Just give me a quick 30 seconds, the inspiration behind that song.
I wrote that song a year and a half before I played it for any producers at Motown. I was not signed when I wrote that song. I was humming, and this hum kind of stuck with me. And I know I don't sound like the mothers of the church, but that's what was in me when I was humming.
Ooh,
I feel that.
Got you.
I ran home. I turned on GarageBand. I hummed, put some distortion on it, and just said the first thing that came to my head, which was, I woke up with sin on my mind. And just that idea of not being perfect, missing the mark.
Okay.
In all these different times in our day that we have to wake up to something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We wake up to something new. And then that idea of chasing something down or running away from something. And so I wanted to leave that open because I think everybody is chasing something
Or running
and
away from
running
Right.
away from something,
Absolutely.
or
Wow.
possibly both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of the song I was thinking about, you know, some of my friends who struggle with depression, eating disorders. You might not hear that in the lyrics, but that was when I was writing the song. Most of my energy was
Coming from
thinking about a close friend with an eating disorder.
Understood.
So when I write, a lot of times you have Royce's story and what Royce is feeling and what Royce wants to convey. And then on top of that, I have stories of friends and what I hear in the news and in the media and what's happening around the world. And that kind of molds this putty that we're going with. And so even at the end of the record, there's a part that we cut off that you don't hear. You probably will only hear it at a live show or something. But when you get to the end of the record, it goes, but I'm running to freedom, ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm running to freedom, ooh, ooh, ooh. And the reason why we cut that off, again, to paint this picture of running to something, running away from something, fear, depression,
Exactly.
trying to be successful.
There you go.
Sometimes you just don't get there.
There you go.
Sometimes you don't get the freedom.
That's true.
Personally, mentally. Sometimes people are just forever running. And I think that thought came from this idea that I think God has been teaching me over the past like 5 years is if you tell someone you're gonna love them through something,
Yeah.
you've immediately devalued your love because you don't know if they're gonna get through it. You don't know when they're gonna get through it. And what you just gave that person was a timeline and ultimatum on like, hey, my love is valuable, so you have to get through whatever you doing. So I'm gonna love you. And the thing that I think God has been trying to teach me and teach the world really
Love inspired.
is I gonna love you, period.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep, I love that. Listen,
Yeah.
so you mentioned something, and I like the fact that you said that because it's something that I'm trying to think about. I'm a musician as well, and a lot of the music that you do, which I absolutely love, can be considered to be somewhat of a crossover. So it's a mix. I know you do gospel, you do R&B, and tap in some other genres. Have you had any pressure at all with trying to stay in a particular lane? And just is there a reason you have chosen to not be narrowed down to any particular lane?
I have had struggle and, you know, so many different words that mean struggle to pick a lane. From friends to coworkers to contracts to management to teams, like just all over the place. Do I understand as the older I get, like that is a hard thing to work with, is someone who's like not picking a lane. Why? Because music is art and it's about being creative. But if you want to make money and pay your bills, music is also about marketing.
There you go.
And so marketing is about finding an audience, picking a lane, making it palatable, and then selling the product, right?
True.
So I get how that's hard. So just to say that, and I will put that to the side and I'll answer your question. The reason why I have decided to just continue to just trailblaze is because that's what my favorite artists do. Those favorite artists might be A-listers and now they can make whatever music they want to make.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel like as an artist, I shouldn't be pinned down to one genre. And I think when you pin down the genre, you you kind of Jim Crow the system a little bit. Like, you don't really allow an artist to grow and then to allow their audience to grow as well. For instance, like when I grew up, I'm from Tallahassee, Florida, which is like North Florida, South Georgia, and picking up a guitar was like, that's what white boys do, Royce. Don't do that. I know better now, but growing up is like the things I wanted to do. It was like, you got to do black things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's just the culture that I grew up, and that's a whole nother conversation. But what I've learned and what I like the most is when people come to my shows, because I rap, you got your hip hop heads. Because there's 808s in the music, you got your bottom heavy community. You know what I mean? Because there's awesome chords and cool instrumentation, you got your musicians and your artsy folk coming out. Because there's guitars, you got your singer-songwriter folks coming out. And because there's some rasp in my voice, you got your reggae guys coming out, and your like cool vibe feeling people coming out. And when I turn on the lights at the show, I see black people, white people, Asians.
That's what's up, man.
You know what?
That's what I want to see.
That's what's up.
And so that's why I make the music.
I was gonna ask you that, as you mentioned, you said from Tallahassee, Florida, there was always this influence to stay in a lane because that's what you knew, right? Hey, Royce, that's not for blah. But that was then. Where is your thought process now with regards to your creation? Because I hear all different cultures. I hear Caucasians, I hear Hispanics, I hear the black community, I hear everybody in your music. Is there a difference now in what you put together or what you create?
Yeah, I think the more I traveled, the more I saw the world, saw cultures. It shaped who I am now into what I create and what I grab. And when I want to talk directly to someone, like for instance, like the mixtape was for us. Like there was a certain message I wanted to say, so we did it for us, you know? And if folks dig my music, they'll continue to listen to it. I think that grabbing those styles, those feelings, those things inside culture celebrates culture. And I think that's something that we don't do enough of. Celebrating culture, valuing hair and texture and skin tones and bodies, like valuing those things. So definitely that's a big part of how I make music now.
So there's a word that we've been saying seems pretty often in this conversation is creative. So I want to know, coming from an experience of The Voice and then just being hit with this pandemic, how has that affected you creatively?
Man, I thought that it would have affected me negatively. Okay. Because I did make a lot of plans. So coming from The Voice, and you're trying to ride off this momentum, because to keep it 100 with you, anything that you do, and this is for any creative listening or any person listening, anything that you do that seems really cool, like The Voice, or you got signed, or just something that seems like a peak and not a valley, and that's a whole nother conversation. Anything that you do in your life that feels like a peak, even getting married, like whatever, like a peak is just the thing you did if you're not working. If you're not continuing to make sure you're working to get to there, in the peak, out of the peak, you got to be working. So
that's right.
I knew that going to The Voice, I'm going to have a lot of folks seeing me. There's going to be great energy, weird energy, stuff I've never felt before. But I can use all that. We planned a record when we were going to release it. I had people helping me comment and do these things just to gather all this energy and all these people together. So when The Voice allowed me to release a record, I would have more eyes on it, more ears on it.
Yes.
So that happened. I released Good Morning. We released it in in Chicago, because that was like one of my, still is actually my highest streaming cities.
Okay.
And went there, flew out, working with some organizations, a lot of plans, and then boom, shut down, pandemic, nobody playing nothing.
Yeah.
You're at home figuring out like, man, how am I supposed to eat after doing this and this and this?
Yeah.
But in all honesty, I felt so good. I was so grateful for a break. So grateful for time to just sit on the lawn. I don't know about you guys, but springtime, March last year was beautiful in Tallahassee. We was like on the lawn, eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Teaching the kids how to ride bikes. I got 2 boys, writing music. So I just had a fantastic time.
Well, I feel like he's trying to rub it in our face.
No, yeah, and I just want to interject right here. You mentioned Tallahassee. We wear sweaters. No.
We're in Toronto, okay?
Hoodies
so you're out here talking
right
about,
now.
Nice weather, sitting on the lawn. We were shoveling our driveway.
Exactly.
Like, what?
We're still shoveling driveways now.
Stop. Maybe, you never know, but Mother Nature out here is not being nice to us.
But no, on a real though, I feel you on that. Just being in that space where the deadlines aren't, where you don't feel the pressure to get things done. Though as a creative, you still are creating, right? Because it's a part of who you are. But just that constant pressure to say, you know what? I got to do this. You can actually sit back. Some things you didn't even know you had on your lawn. You never knew that there was a stream there. You never knew there was a tree over there. Now you get a chance to appreciate that,
That's
man.
what's up.
I appreciate that.
I'm hoping.
100%, man. When I left The Voice, and one thing I went away with is gratitude. And there's just so much I could talk about as far as like what I learned at The Voice. And I think that almost prepared me for the pandemic. When I left The Voice, losing the knockout round, they bring you to every so often you have to check in because it's a big show.
Yeah.
You check in with a counselor. You kind of talk through some things. It's a big show. They've been doing it for 17 seasons since I was on it, and I'm pretty sure that they have these things in place because things can get heavy to some folks.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of the things that they asked me before we left, before I left, went back home, was, do you have something good to go home to? And that hit me. And it hit me because I was thinking, of course I do, duh, what kind of question is that?
Yeah.
But it hit me because she had to ask that question for a reason.
True.
Like some people feel like they don't have something good to go home to.
Yeah.
This is true.
And that hit me. And I was like, almost in an attitude of prayer of like, wow, God, like allow me to some kind of way express this gratitude that you have like, revealed in my life about the little things or the big things or the medium-sized things, whatever. And so I almost think that experience at The Voice prepared me for the pandemic because, like you said, like I was just grateful to have a lawn, to be a homeowner. You know what I mean? Like we just bought our first home in 2019. And so to have time to kind of do some yard work and to paint, we did like, we put in like new cabinets. You were just doing stuff at the house. And it was just so, I feel like my marriage got better. Parenting, like we was learning about each other, homeschool, fiasco stuff. Anyway, I can go on and on about like that attitude of gratefulness. But no, we're not here to talk about that.
I love that. No, initially when I asked you the question and you were talking about in Tallahassee and the guitar and how you were narrowed into a space and then you actually got to a place where your creative process kind of allowed you to get a broader, your experiences allowed you to have a better, broader look on the world and, still appreciating, like you said, your skin tone here, appreciating who you are, who we are as people, right? You have a couple of videos out there, skin tone, there's good morning, there's no bars. And I think in one of them you mentioned something about Yeshua looks like me, correct? Good.
Yes.
Now, how important is it that the representation of your culture comes out in your art?
110 million%. Man, like,
I respect that. I receive that, my brother. I respect that and receive that.
Yeah.
yes, 110 million%. Like, growing up, we're taught a certain thing.
Yeah.
If your parents don't know, then you don't know.
True.
I'll say it like this. Doctors say that cancer is not passed down in your blood. Cancer isn't passed down through being contagious. Cancer is passed down through your refrigerator. So what your mom and your dad had in their refrigerator, you gonna have the same stuff in your refrigerator. And you gonna give that same stuff to your kids in their refrigerator. And that's how cancer is passed down. It's through the refrigerator.
Well,
And so unless we start like taking stuff out of our refrigerators and doing new things and discovering history and not conspiracy, I'm not saying Yeshua is of color with locks and powerful and strong and the people of God aren't of this white supremacist oppression idea of Christianity. Pulling back all those pins and nuggets and diving into what a mosaic, redeeming Yeshua, God of this universe, really is, studying history has been so beautiful to me. And to be honest with you, that story that I talked about inside No Bars is one of the key points of my like being shaken and woken up. The story that I said was just simply that. I was on tour. A friend of mine said, "Hey, I heard you back in town. Do you mind coming by and teaching a Sunday school lesson?" And I was like, "Sure, why not?" And he was like, "The kids would love it." I was there. I'm telling jokes. Kids are laughing. This one little girl is not giving me a smile, not giving me anything. And this whole time, I'm just like, man, like, what's up? What's going on with her? We get to the end of the day. We're coloring pictures of Yeshua and some kids. And I go to her. I say, "Yo, what's up?" Like, I sang songs. She didn't clap. I was making jokes. Everybody laughing. Like, what's going on? What's wrong? And she says, she just disregards all of that. And she just like looks at this piece of paper that she's given to color. Yeah. And she says, "What color is Jesus?" And I said, "I don't know, let's Google it." So I Google and I pull up the scripture and I says, "Okay, it says he's bronze." And then she looks through this pack of 74 Crayola colors. And she pulls out bronze. And that was the first time that I saw her smile. Wow. And that hit me so hard. And that's when I started my search on what do I believe? Why do I believe? Wrestling with stuff. And, you know, I implore anybody to go wrestle and represent yourself inside of in history. Don't just represent yourself to represent yourself. Learn history and represent yourself inside truth.
I respect that. Let me say this. What I wanted to just kind of point out here, and I don't know if our listeners are understanding and appreciating this, but I want everyone to kind of understand that you are at a point where you are true to yourself. You have identified who you are while still being able to function in a world with everybody else. Because a lot of people can't do that, right? A lot of people spend time exploring themselves, getting into deep research, and they get so caught up in what they want to represent that they lose sight of the fact that there are other people that live in this world who don't look like you and that, right? And they need to be appreciated too. There are other people who don't share the same value, but they still need to be appreciated. So I appreciate that with you, my brother. 110%. Actually, 110 million%. I'm gonna go with that.
Yes.
So now I know that there's going to be a lot of upcoming artists watching this.
Yes.
That admire you, and maybe even people that are just meeting you for the first time. What advice is Royce going to give to these up and coming artists?
Be a sponge. Learn. Don't try to wear too many hats. Because I think one thing that I struggle with as an artist, especially when you're up and coming, and you got to be the producer, the writer, the artist, the manager. You got to be all these things.
Yeah.
When people come into your life that want to sharpen, iron sharpens iron. When people come into your life that want to sharpen you, don't be afraid of being sharpened. Don't be afraid of someone telling you what shirt to put on when you're in front of camera. Don't be afraid of someone saying, you use the word this inside your writing a lot. Switch it up.
Yeah.
You're always talking about your dad. Like, switch it up.
Yeah.
Like, I think we as artists have to learn that we're here to be true to ourselves. But your art I say it in conjunction. I don't say it like to discount what I just said. Be true to yourself and make the things palatable for those around you. I don't mean water it down. I don't mean, not say what you should say and present what you should present. I mean, make it presentable so others will want to listen to it. Others will want to see it. Others will want to digest it.
I like that.
I
love that.
I think art is just like every other piece of art. Like, if put that in the perspective of the delivery, example I gave earlier, or put that in the perspective of a chef. The chef, they plate things in a way that'll make you want to eat that cow tongue.
Exactly.
Like, some people be like, you just flop a cow tongue on that plate. They might be like, I don't know, cuz. But the way if that thing look,
hey, come through. I like that. I received that.
If it look good,
man, you know
what? I might see what's up.
I want that. I received that. 100%, man. Royce?
Honestly,
I have to say, it was a true pleasure.
Yes.
To have you on the show.
Deep insight. Just your content wasn't typical. It was very real. It was very authentic. And I don't know if everybody knows this, but you do have a mixtape that's coming out. Came out. I'm sorry, it came out the end of April.
It's available on every single platform.
Every platform
People,
that's
please,
out there.
go out,
go get it.
Support.
I want everybody to realize, if you're not able to be like Royce, like I am, because I'm just like, we're twins. It's okay. Like he said, it's okay. Just be true to yourself. Yeah, be true to yourself. So I could talk about the mixtape because I am you and you're me.
But the thing is, I'm gonna say let him talk about it. I was on. You didn't tell them, but I'm one of the backup singers on the mixtape.
Got it.
But rather than me talking about it, because I know about it, like we know about it. Tell us about your mixtape.
Yo, so the mixtape is just bars. It's called Enough. They say I don't rap enough because after one of my last tours, a lot of my fans was like, yo, you've been doing a lot of singing. We need some bars. So I was like, all right, let's give you some bars. And it's probably some of the most vulnerable I've been on a record. I talk about my family. I talk about, how I grew up.
Yeah.
I talk about things that are going on in the world. And then it kind of all circles back in with the reason why I sing.
There you go.
So.
Yeah, because I remember, you remember that concert that we were at in Florida when they said that thing to us, right?
No.
And then we went backstage, we spoke about it, so you hit it right, nail right on the head.
I'm going to save you, Royce, just so you don't get sucked in anymore. Save yourself. Anyway, my brother, it was good.
This is definitely going to be See You Later because we definitely
must have you back.
Have you back on the show.
Must have you back.
We know that you're going to be a busy man. You are a busy man, but we definitely have to get you back on this show. Whenever
let
you
me know,
have some new stuff coming out, we definitely want to support, and
Yes.
we will be supporting you.
Yes, absolute pleasure, everyone. Make sure you go out and cop something online. He's available. His music is available on all digital outlets. We're in a digital world right now,
Exactly.
so I mean, we can't see him live just yet. Well, I don't know what it's like in Florida or in the US. I know. Are we having concerts now? Are they having concerts like open
People
concerts?
are booking tours.
Okay.
People are booking tours.
That's good. That's good. So as it is right now, though, we want everybody to go out and just pick up something from Royce. Pick up. Search the song. There's Skin Tone.
Running,
There's Good Morning.
running.
No Bars. There's Running.
That's my jam.
I mean, there's the mixtape. There's so
Yes.
much happening. So thank you again. Thank you for being a part of this program. It means a lot to us.
Yes.
The team wants to say thanks. And God bless you, my brother.
Thanks, man. You guys take care.
God bless you.